Wednesday. Hump day?
So yeah, I had a busy work week, business week.
Yeah, how's your week going? That's the questions.
How's your mental? How's your health? That's all important.
Did you get some rest?
Exactly.
Did you get some rest? I decided to let my hair out today so it can get some vitamin D. But then it really wasn't too much sun. It was just a lot of wind. So
Yeah. Speaking of hair, I want to give a shout out to Keela over there at New Look Universal Barbershop for hooking me up. Check
oh
this
yeah,
out.
I got it.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah, nice,
oh,
clean, nice
oh,
and clean.
oh,
Oh yeah.
oh, oh.
So yeah, shout out to you, Keela. Come see you when I need you.
Yeah, Keela.
Yeah.
Where's her shop at? Where's
Her
she
shop
located?
is located out in the Centennial area. Um, but just be advised later on at a later point in time, we might be even having her on the show. So she is also a female entrepreneur. She owns this barbershop. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Yeah, Keela cutting up to her.
That's right.
You dig?
Got to get these females out there, you know?
So, what you been doing the last few days?
Oh man, where do I start? I could take up the whole time with just what I've been doing. I'm telling
Look, I'm listening.
So yeah, I just been locked up. I just
Big
been,
Sean say, "What's up, Webbles?"
What's up, Big
Gang,
Harley? It's my turn. I got to. So yeah, no, I've just been prepping for events coming up. I got an event for Cinco de Mayo. I got an event for May 11th, and this is my Lotes business. Been setting up, our socials,
EWA.
our merch. Been setting up other ventures that I'm doing. Writing business plans and getting really acclimated with AI. So I mean, if you don't know about it, you better get some knowledge about this AI going
Hey,
on.
just let me chime in on that, cause the AI
Please
game,
do.
like, okay, let me be honest. I was the first person just to be like, man, I don't want to do that shit.
Ugh.
You know what I'm saying? Because realistically, you kind of like, it's not my words. That's not what I want. But let me just say that I've been playing with the AIs for the last month or so, especially because this one put me up on game. And let me say, if you are a content creator, you probably already know this, that's where it's at.
Please believe
And,
it.
and shit, we might have to start messing with that on the Bitcoin side too, or on the coinage side.
I don't know. I think AI is more, well, for me, it's more beneficial to build businesses with and start multiple streams of income in different type of industries. And this AI really makes it more streamlined for you to do something like this. You just have to, put in the due diligence to learn how to do this.
And it's not that, like, what you showed me wasn't difficult
It's
at all.
not. It's not.
Like, and now this stuff, because like I used to be, especially with what was the one we were just talking about the other day, the Adobe. Like, I was that person with Adobe where I was just like, oh, this is too much. Like, this is dope, don't get me wrong, but if you know the keystrokes and you know how it works, then yeah, you in business. But just to kind of like, for somebody who don't know and to get on there and start trying to mess with stuff, man, it would take me hours to do stuff. And I was like, this is too much.
Right.
With this new AI stuff, man, listen, even with the new stuff that I just learned over the last month, I'm telling you, it's foolproof. And
I mean, with AI, a little goes a long way. I'm telling you.
yeah, and just being specific on what you tell it to do too. It will literally do what you ask it to do.
That's basically all it is. If you can really articulate what it is that you want and what you're asking for, this AI will shoot it out to you in whatever context that you're asking for. You just got to be able to know how to ask.
I want to put some homework out there for anybody that's listening, right? Go find out what's up with Fetch, Fetch on the coin side, because Fetch is supposed to be the next hot coin, but it's
Oh, is it?
AI. It's
Oh,
Fetch AI.
okay. Is it
So
like the first AI coin coming out?
I don't know if it's the first coin. I do have a little bit of,
Because you got to be at the forefront of this in order to.
That's what I'm saying. So they're saying that this is that this Fetch AI is supposed to kind of go up to about $10 in the next couple years. And right now it's somewhere around like, 30, 40 something cent or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah, then I would suggest
But
that.
I think I had got a little bit of it when it was like way less.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, so for my coin people out there, for my Bitcoin people and all y'all out there, holla at us about that Fetch AI. I want to know what's up with that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
put us up
Or
on game on that.
and if you are using AI, you let us know what you're doing with it. Like,
Yeah.
how's it working for you in your business or in your life? You know,
For real,
Yeah.
for real.
So
Let's get into these questions.
let's
You
do
know what I'm
it,
saying?
fam. Yeah, let me pull that up.
We came up with these 5 questions that we were going to ask each other. You know what I'm saying? To kind of start to show off, right? So that you can know what we're doing as well, and kind of get to know us a little bit better.
All right, so I'll start off and I'll ask you. Is that cool?
I guess whatever.
Well, because the first question was your question, so
Okay.
all right.
Ooh, what do you want? A rock paper scissors?
Oh no, we good. First question is your question, so
So do I go or you go?
I'm gonna ask you, go and answer.
Oh, okay.
Is that cool? Can we do that?
Okay.
All right. So, first question is, well, for me specifically, like my question was, what specifically happened in your life that you decided that, you know, the entrepreneurship route was more suitable for you? So basically, you know, because I feel like everybody should have a reason why they push themselves to be an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whether family, whatever, you know, whatever
Right,
your
right.
why is. That's what they
Right.
say. You got to figure out your why.
Right.
So that's my question. What was your why?
You know, I just like started paying attention. And what I mean by that was I wasn't taught anything. I wasn't taught anything about credit. I wasn't taught anything about finances, wealth, generating wealth, none of that stuff coming up. And so I just started kind of looking at that around me, noticing, you know, and I was in security for a long time. Like, that's where I started my whole world. And I'll tell you this, I did 15 years in that industry, and I learned so much because I was around so many different people. So I'm looking at people with a lot of money, making moves, making power moves. And I'm thinking, like, you know, this person isn't clocking in like I'm clocking in. They're not, you know, they don't have a time card. You know, I just kind of started surrounding myself with different people so that I could change my mindset and paying attention to different people. So if I didn't have the person in front of me, then I would just follow certain celebrities and their journeys. And then one day I just was like, you know what? I want to create something for myself, for my children, and for my children's children's children. I want to create that legacy, that empire. And that's kind of what it came down to. I really just was like, I want to work for me.
Right.
Like, I'm a hard worker,
Definitely.
you know what I'm
I can vouch
saying?
for that.
But it's like, I can make you look, I don't want to like make everybody else look so great and good. I want to make me look good. I want to make my stuff like it's my turn.
Right.
You feel me?
And there's nothing
And
wrong
I
with
think
that,
that's what it
as
came
should
down
be.
to.
Yeah.
It came down to, no, it's my turn. Like, let me put my fillers out here too. See
Yeah,
what we got
I
going
get
on.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it did. Let me know where's I have one of my questions here. Let me go back to it. Let me pull up my Palm Pilots. I forgot to turn my phone down.
Oh
So-
man, I wish it was live earlier, man. She was cutting it up with the Bone Thugs. I wish I could get
Oh
that.
yeah, because I got the hair out today,
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to let the sun get it, but you know the wind was blowing, and it was like waking up in the buzz, better in the morning, stretching them yawning, lightweight bench. I love to. Okay, so
Yeah,
there we go.
see what I mean?
You know, get with my crew. I'm getting me hustle on, hop on the phone, calling up Crazy Bone, but I know that your OG
Oh man,
check
if I
come.
close my eyes, I think Crazy sitting next to me.
Ah, shut your ass up. All right, so okay, so this is a good one. Why is it important for you to be successful?
Okay, so the why, yeah.
It's another why.
So I guess it ties in with the first question, and yeah. For me, without getting too deep into
No,
my
let's
past-
get deep.
No.
Oh, okay, never
we
mind.
only got
Yeah, it's only a half
I
an
gotta
hour
pay a
show.
professional for this kind of stuff.
We don't
So-
want no smoke.
Anyway, so for me, the why was because how I was raised wasn't necessarily ideal for a child. So with that being said, I knew at an early age, and this was 9 years old, so I can recall what age I was when I consciously made the decision that I was going to have to do work.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? And this is 9 years old.
Mm.
So, me having that mentality at such a young age, I was one of those kids who probably did that hustle that most kids did in school, which is go to your local 7-Eleven little, mom and pop shop, buy these little 5-cent candies, 10-cent candies, take them to school.
Make a sucker out of them.
That's what I'm saying. So, hustle's been instilled in me since a kid. At my school, we had these little pencil dispensers where you paid 10 cents for a pencil, or you know what I mean. So I would literally empty those pencil things.
And that's I sold pastrami sandwiches.
Don't tell me you was at home just
Nigga, listen.
Really?
Moms, listen.
Man.
I came. True story.
Man, I wish I was
Junior
around.
high school. No, dead ass.
We would have been moguling it up by now.
Dead ass. So true story. Real quick, junior high school, I came to school with a pastrami sandwich that my mom had made. My mom, was from, bruh,
I'm hungry.
she's from a small town called Duboc, Louisiana, right? Rest in peace to moms. So
R.I.P. Mom.
she, I had took this sandwich to school, so everybody was like, damn, that shit smell good. Like, you could just smell it. You know what I mean? So, like, you could just smell it. So I had chips and, like, a drink, and so everybody was like, yo. I was like, well, I could see if my mama can make you one. So I went home, was like, can you make such and such a pastrami? And so they willing to pay you for it. So she was like, shit, pay me for
That's
it.
her mom?
So then she became the connect, nigga.
She was the supplier.
She was the supplier. I was the connect. Yeah, I was coming to
love
school
it.
with a backpack. Like, I had like 10 to 15 pastrami's almost every day. And then I would have chips and drinks just to make a combo
See,
meal.
now I'm mad because I should have been hustling spam musubis in Hawaii at school because I would have killed it every day.
Hey, a lot of people got
You know?
these weird ass spam recipes, man. Y'all
No, but
killing me.
you understand. My poly people, if I came to school with 100 spam musubis, I would have sold out because my boys, my family, my boys,
That's
my girls,
it.
whatever. Back home, they don't eat just one. They eat those like Pringles.
She said, once you pop, you can't stop.
Not no damn musubi. All my
So,
local
yeah.
islanders, you know what I'm talking about out there.
Yeah, shout out, man.
Shout
I
out.
love y'all too, man. They're some of the best people in the world. So I'm sorry. Continue. I'm sorry.
All right, so my why was because so I had a single mother, single parent, and like you said, you really didn't learn anything, So these streets was my teacher as well.
Yeah.
Although my conscience got the best of me when I exited where I was, I didn't want to. I was consciously knowing that I didn't want to leave a legacy behind where my mom was embarrassed about who I was and what I did, and
Right.
you know what I mean. So I made the decision not to go back to that and actually pursue, an education, and I got some degrees. I just steadfast with what I was trying to do, and it literally pulled me out of what I would have inherently ended up doing. So
Right.
with that being said, where I was, there was women there who were older in age, and I would sit down and have conversations with these women about how they ended up where they were or where we were, and what they regret or what their regrets were.
Right.
And for the most part, it's mostly because sitting there having these conversations with them, I'm paying attention to their age, and I'm paying attention to where they are, and I'm paying attention to, myself. I'm being present in the moment. So I'm thinking, this is not for me. Like,
Right.
what am I doing?
Especially because, like, and for the most part, they'll put you up on game. They got that wisdom.
That's exactly what it was.
And they was just like, this ain't, you don't
That's
belong
exactly
here.
what it was.
Yeah.
So they knew that I was sitting there trying to get some insight. I wasn't just, someone just trying to F off and just,
Right.
run amok.
Right.
I had some thought up there, I
Right.
do process stuff.
Right.
So with that being said, so I exited, and instead of going back to what I was doing, where I was, I stayed back home, and I got my education, and I pushed, I hustled, I grinded, I took every downside that came from what I ended up putting myself through and, you know, push through everything. And not to say that it's over, because it's a daily thing. And if your mental does not match your perseverance and your goals, it's going to be 10 times harder.
Yeah.
So, you know, have a plan and stick to that plan. I mean, not everything's going to work in your favor or in your time, but trust and believe, if you keep pushing and you stay steadfast, there's just no way it can't happen for you. You know, you got to be consistent. You got to
Consistency is definitely it.
Diligent, yes.
Yeah, because
so basically my why is because I knew at a young age that my mom would not be capable to take care of herself in her old age because she struggled with me as a child. And
Right.
I watched how she, you know, like I said, I was present every day, and I watched how she raised me, and I just knew it just, you know, there's got to be more. There's got to be better.
Right.
You know? And if I can't get it from my own parent, then I have to do the work myself.
No, and so you know what's interesting about what you just said is that, like, that's a question that I always pose because people go, well, circumstantial, if you don't know anything other than what you know. So if you grew up in the hood and all you know is the fucking hood,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, how are you supposed to know that there's anything else beyond that? But then my question is, just like you just said, well, you got to want to know.
Yeah.
You got to want to be like, you know what, all right, this is it. I'm cool on this. There's got to be more.
Yeah.
You know, and that it's kind of like, when does it come to that point where you say, there's got to be more, and then you start diligently seeking that more?
Right.
You know, and I think kind of the same thing, but my problem was I didn't really start doing that until I just kind of like hit rock bottom again. You know what I mean? And it was like, and it was not necessarily rock bottom, but I was at a place in my life where I had got fired from my job. I had never been fired before in my life.
Really?
And so I got fired. Here I am. I got 2 kids. Got my sister with me. I'm trying to, you know, take care of a whole family. And it's like I'm the sole provider. And like I just was sitting there going through it. And I'm going, you really got some talents, though, that you should probably, you know, like you've done them. You've touched them here and there.
Yeah.
You know, and that kind of goes back to that consistency we talked about. Man, consistency is one of the keys.
It's consistency, and it's definitely your
What
why.
up, Denon? We see you watching. Appreciate
up,
you for
fam?
tuning in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely your why. Like if your why is not strong enough, you will not be consistent. 'Cause,
Yeah.
your why has to be your determining factor. It does, and that is gonna push you to plan, to spend money, to just blind faith on betting on yourself. And if you don't feel like you're worth betting on yourself, then I don't know what to tell you. Like,
Yeah, because you gotta. I mean, only you know what you are capable of
Right.
and what you're willing to do. But then that's going down. That's going back to taking, you know, having self-awareness and taking accountability for you. Because if you know you're a lazy person, you know, you're going to have to change that first. There's things that you're going to have to do. There's steps that you're going to have to take to try to get rid of that
right.
and develop a routine.
And don't get us wrong. Lazy can be construed in different ways, because you could be lazy and genuinely just be lazy. Like you really inherently in your mind just, nah, I don't want to do it. Nah, I don't want to get up. Nah,
Right.
I just don't want to do it. No, I don't want to.
Not just today is just not the day.
Or you could be lazy in a sense to where you're more apprehensive. Like you believe in yourself. You're just scared. And it's not a bad thing to be scared, because trust and believe, there's more people who are scared of what they will find out about themselves if they actually put it to work and put what they have inherently, like put it out there. Like, you know, whatever you're passionate about or whatever you feel like, you know, hey, I can do this. It doesn't take anything but for you to just learn one thing. And what do we call eating an elephant?
One piece at a time.
That's all it is.
It's one bite at a time,
That's
man.
all it is.
And that's the thing, because see, the problem is, and I was having this conversation with my husband the other day, the problem is that we see the bigger picture, right?
Right.
We see the end goal. The end goal is beautiful. Like, it's like, oh, it's everything that you imagine. But that's your Z. you got to go all the way back to A, B, C, D. Like, it's steps in this shit. Like,
Right.
you got to take one step at a time. And that's why we say consistency is the number one. I want to say, I don't know if I want to say number one, but
It's definitely
it's up there.
It's
You know what I'm saying?
definitely
It's,
up there.
it's in the top five attributes that you have to be successful when you're being an entrepreneur, because you're going to do something and you're going to go, that didn't work. And some people just give up and quit. You know, if you serious about whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, you go, okay, that didn't work that way, but let's see how it works another way. Let me try this. Because you're not a failure unless you just completely stop.
And you can't learn unless you fail.
Yeah, so really, it ain't no such thing as a failure, like I
No.
say, unless you just fucking give up and you're like, I'm not doing it.
So don't think of failure as failure. Think of it as a learning curve. It's just you have to learn your way around it and, readjust. That's it. So what you're doing is you're basically just reverse engineering what your goal is. You're at point A, but you've got to see your end point in order to know how to reverse engineer to get to that end point, because
Yeah.
right now you're at point A. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? So if you just think about where you want to be or where you want your business to be at the end point, just work backwards from there. Just work backwards.
Or sometimes even in that too. So if you at point A, right, and you go, okay, first thing I need is a business name, right? Okay, boom, mark that down. I need a business name. Now scratch it off when you get it done. That's off the list. Okay, now I need to register my business. Now I need to find out what I want to, like, those are the things, you just write those things down. And before you know it, you've established and been branding a business for quite some time without even feeling like it's overly worked. The problem is we try to do too much too soon, too fast. That's the problem.
That's my problem.
I'm going to say it again for the people in the back, the people that are back there in the back. We try to do too much too fast, too soon, and it doesn't work. So.
I mean, if you've been doing it a while and you've been consistent about it, there's possibly you could do it. It's just, if this is your first leap of faith in yourself, we're just trying to let you know that.
Babies. I mean, and not necessarily like, baby steps,
No.
but just literally one step at a time.
Right, because from your first build, you'll know how to build a second one, a third one, and next thing you know, you have multiple streams of income coming in because of that first.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, that's what we trying to do.
That's it. That's the formula for us.
It's the formula.
That's right.
Hustle, grind, flip, and rewind.
That's
It's
it.
the formula.
And I know everybody knows that motto
Yeah, man, because that's what we do. That's what millionaires do all day.
all day.
All right, so next
Let's get to
question.
the next question.
Okay,
So-
whose turn is it? Yours,
Mine.
mine? Okay, go ahead. She keeping
Yeah,
up.
no, it's mine. A lot of
Problems
So-
today.
Throughout your experience in being an entrepreneur, what did you find to be the most challenging throughout, or the most consistent challenge you keep running into? Unless you've already worked through that.
For me, it was, I think I would say time, and again, consistency. Time, because at one point I was trying to do too much. And though my intentions were good, there was just no way I could literally do all of these things. And some of them were from the ground up. Like, a few of them were already kind of rolling, but some of them were just like from the ground up. There was no way I could consistently do those things at one time. So time, because of my job, being a mother, being a wife, being a friend, being a teamster, being all these different things, wearing these different hats, and then still trying to manage business, still trying to be an entrepreneur, an entertainer. Like, it's a lot. So for me, it was just time and trying to figure out, how much time do I need to dedicate to this every day? How much time do I need to dedicate to that every day? Okay, well, if I don't push this, if I don't push that, if I don't do this, if I don't, and then next thing you know, I got to go to sleep. I can't even talk about it no more.
Right.
You know what I mean? I got to go to work. Or I'm at work 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 hours. So if you at work that long, I don't know about y'all, but when you at work that long,
Yeah,
when you get off, you not thinking about nothing.
nothing.
You thinking about,
Entrepreneur.
damn, I gotta get a pillow and go to sleep. I gotta eat. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Before
Stressing me out, fam.
Yo.
I feel my eyebrows receding.
You know what I'm saying? I'm getting sweaty palms all over again. Just think, did you
Look,
say
don't
your
look at-
eyebrows was receding, nigga? Yo.
I'm pulling them back.
If you got receding eyebrows, we definitely want to talk to you. Okay.
That's like Sean's Grinch.
Grinch titties. Coming to a theater near you.
Oh, see, and you talk about sweaty palms. Like,
Look, that's because your ass nervous. We stepping out of our elements this year. So this
Especially
one
me,
ain't never been
yeah.
in front of no cameras and none of this shit. I'm used to it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm usually in the background. Like, I'm the.
Nah, she definitely the background scene person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's up, Darian, in the building? But yeah, for me, you know, it was a time thing, trying to manage between. So then me trying to manage, right, and not being able to. Now I feel defeated. Now I feel like a failure. Now I'm frustrated. Now I'm like, fuck this, you know. But then I got that little voice in the back of my head, like, nah, you can't say fuck this.
Right.
You got moves to make. You got places to go. This is not. Your lifestyle is already heading in the direction that you want it to head. You just got to jump start it and keep it going. So it was just that little voice telling me to keep going, and that's where the consistency came in. But yeah, my biggest problem was just going, you know what? I don't have time that I need to do all of this. So I got to go, hold on. We're going to do these couple things right here,
Right.
and we're going to give it our all. And
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, because I found myself struggling with, procrastination, not because I was lazy. It was because I felt like, it wasn't such a, that, and then plus, like, it's not such a hard task that I thought it would consume so much of my time.
Mm-hmm.
So when it came to the point of actually doing it, I was wrong about the time management. So, it's always like that with me because I sometimes in my own mind, I'm bigger than what I am because
because we forget, like, we be feeling like, oh, I can do this, I can do that, and then you don't even realize, like, it's been in situations where I'm like, okay, I got all day to do these two things, right? But I don't realize how one of those things can get me so consumed, I forget about the other. And then when I look up, it's 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I gotta go to bed because I'm gonna tell you something. Sleep is very important.
It is.
On my list.
Yeah, I can vouch for that one too.
Bruh, you fuck around and get cussed out.
you fuck around and get cut.
But me and sleep, man, we don't play them type of games. Like, you cannot mess with my sleep because it's a fight party at that point. Like, dead ass. Like, I even send text messages out in advance, like they be timed, and it'll even say, yo, this message was sent when I was probably asleep, please don't text me back, like like hit me up later on today. But yeah,
so fam, you want to hit me with a
okay, so my next question would be, how do you manage between the transitioning of coming out of the workforce, like going into full-fledged entrepreneurship? Like, what are the steps that you're kind of taking to do that?
And it's great that you're asking me that question because at this point in time, in this juncture, I can probably say I'm probably a good percentage into preparation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say I'm fully ready.
Right.
But I
feel that.
Yeah. Only because I have never been at a point in my life to where I could do that.
It's scary.
It's very scary.
And that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
We could kind of intertwine those because,
right,
like, as you're going through the process, right,
mm-hmm.
you're like, whew.
Yeah.
Are we sure about this? Like,
well, and you know when I
because we have good jobs.
We do. Like, and it's a job we could go back to anytime.
That's the greatest thing about them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, we can literally leave and come back and forth as we please, and as long as we handle our business, we got a good name. It's love, but it's the scariest part of just going, I'm not gonna go to work,
right?
And I'm gonna do this.
And the other day I found myself sitting in my backyard and I was contemplating this because I feel like like I said, it's the momentum that's happening with my businesses.
Yeah, because shout out to EWA once again. It's taking off, you
mean,
dig? Like,
I
hey, and
mean,
you got to make sure you tell them where you're going to be at when we end this out.
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, it's an event. It's a closed event, but I mean, yeah, I'll be at a couple places.
Yeah. Maybe next time, y'all.
Oh, but I'll definitely keep you posted on when I'm open to the public. So don't you fret. And I might be adding a home catering service soon. So just
Ooh.
look out for that.
Hey, man, all I'm going to say is I've had the, what was it? The,
Oh, that's the attitude, the flaming hot
the
Cheetos.
flaming hot Cheeto elotes, and I had the churros. Bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's right.
yeah, so we got some videos about our businesses. We're gonna be putting up. You'll see the interworkings of it and stuff. But,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, as far as the
Come with us on that journey.
yeah, definitely follow with us.
Darren, I got you, bro. Just
Yeah.
hit me up anytime, and we'll get on that. Yeah, because you missed that show.
Nice.
Yeah, he missed that other show. But welcome to this one. Welcome to the bakery.
up,
Make sure,
Darren?
hey, so for y'all that's watching, man, again, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. The bakery is all about entrepreneurship, the grind of it, the hustle of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. We want to,
Everything. Even with us, the
everything,
good,
yeah.
bad, ugly with us, like what's going on, like we want you with us. We
man,
want you.
just everything in between. Like I think this is the first time somebody's really actually showing you. And don't get us wrong. Our businesses, we have started them. They are off the ground.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
are moving. They are running. So you didn't get to see that part of it, but you get to see everything else. So
I mean, for EWA, I was capturing content from day one, so I just haven't, I haven't presented it. So with that being said, and getting on here and getting out of my comfort zone, so this is another leap of faith for me. So getting
Yeah,
out of my
that is.
comfort zone and putting myself out there, my business is what I'm doing. You'll get to see my struggles, and I even have content of how I generated revenue to fund my business, because at that time we were all going through COVID. So
yo,
I
that
had
part,
to do some hustles. You know what I'm saying?
the grind.
I had to drive out to Oregon, if you catch what I'm saying.
Hey, look at her. Hey, that's
Yeah.
hard. That's COVID was part of the reasons 2 of my businesses even got started. So
Yeah, so a lot of business
you know.
got started during COVID just out of bare necessity, because
Yeah.
and that's great. That got a lot of people out of their comfort zones.
Yeah.
They just had their whys.
there was.
Their whys. Everybody had a simultaneous why.
And it was very clear too.
Right.
It was very, very clear too.
Right.
So you want to do one more question and we wrap it up?
Yeah, we'll do
Okay,
one
what you
more.
got? What you
So,
got?
if you had to do it all over again, and you had to start from day one all over again, would you choose entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So would I.
Because there's a difference when I lay my head down, like when we were heavy doing our carpet cleaning business, like during COVID and stuff. It was a difference between laying my head down, being tired from working for myself versus working for somebody else, and knowing that everything came to me and I distributed and allocated it where it needed to go like it was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that was a gift and a blessing, and it's a feeling that you can't get when you are not an entrepreneur, when you're not trying to grow. And then you also giving people like you are a brand. You selling yourself for the most part.
Exactly.
And those are some things that I had to learn because, people had to tell me that, like, you're selling you. People fuck with you.
Right.
So it's like you have to become a brand and understand what that means in doing so, and you have to carry yourself a certain type of way. That's another show.
Right. So basically, that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to give you insight to our lives and what we're trying to do, and trying to bring value to this and what we're trying to do out with you folks out there.
Absolutely.
So, and that's the brand in itself. It's just it's a cycle. Us
Yeah.
helping you helping others, and vice versa.
And we just trying to show people that you legitimately can grow by extending your hand and helping somebody else and getting them to their goal. They getting you to their goal. Like, it's really, that's how this works.
Right. You'll be
You know what I'm
amazed how
saying?
fast your business can grow once you start learning how to network and just building relationships with other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Darian, yes, in the future, both podcasts, because both podcasts are connected. Both podcasts will be having conferences and stuff in the future. We'll be hosting some stuff because that's where we are. We legitimately want to kind of share with other people our journey, help people with their journey, and simple things. If you don't know how to set up an LLC and you want to come sit down and really learn how to do it, man, that's what we're gonna do.
Right. If
So
you want to know how to apply for business credit or anything
right,
like that.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
I now have information for all of that. Like I have a network of people I can legitimately reach out to right now for you that's willing to help you with all those things. Hell, that was actually one of my businesses that I had to go.
Right. Hence having a network, because you always have somebody you can plug into
Man,
when you have something that needs to get done.
brought to fruition in the building. What's up? So yeah, man, we gonna wrap it up in a second, and and we appreciate y'all tuning in with us, rocking with us.
Definitely.
Once again, like, subscribe, share the bakery. Check it out on YouTube. We'll be going live from YouTube in the next couple weeks. So we want to give everybody the opportunity to kind of know what we're doing. So just keep, if you following and you don't subscribe, then you know what's cooking.
I mean, stay with us, because, I mean, you're going to go along with us, and you're going to see what we build, how we build, how far we get, because this one and me, yeah.
Watch me now.
Top floor, please.
I
Thank you.
appreciate that. We already talking about the type of compounds we're going to be building.
Oh,
But
trips
yeah,
we
man.
taking, just
And we're going to take
Ignorant.
y'all with us.
ignorant. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we're going to take y'all with us. So listen, hustle, grind.
Flip, rewind.
It's better known as the bakery, and that's better known as the formula. I'm your girl, Miss Treasure,
I'm your girl, Tay.
and we are the bakers, and we catch y'all on the flip side next Wednesday. See what we cooking up.